Okay, we're hitting the track tomorrow, but we need to test out a couple things before we get it loaded up, so stick around. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the garage, and as always, a big shout out to all the new subscribers. If you're new to the channel, make sure go to tuning101.com. That takes you to our YouTube homepage. You can find links to all the tuning videos, all the performance videos, everything that you're looking for. Tuning101.com is your gateway to get that information. The other thing that you can do is also check out GoatRopeGarage.com. That's where our homepage is. You can buy merch there. You can check out the Patreon if you need tuning assistance. Go check out those two links. On top of it, don't forget to check the links for our sponsors down below. So today we are getting ready to go to the track for the weekend. We need to test two big things out: the two-step and the bump box. Now the bump box is going to be dependent on the two-step because where we set our rev limiter, in fact this isn't a two-step, it is just a launch control. You'll hear me call it a two-step. It is not a true two-step. It does not have two set points. Only has a launch control. We're using the Lingenfelter LNC 2014, which is the direct injection version for the Gen 5 platforms. But based on where your RPMs are set at, you may have to adjust the bump box. We have the smooth stage bump box in this unit. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and dial this thing up. I think it's set for around 2,000 right now. We want to bring it up to around maybe 3,000 or so to initially start. Then we can change it whenever we get out to the track and see how the track takes the power. Lingenfelter makes life super easy whenever it comes to adjusting this thing. We just got a couple pots on the front. Down here is a max retard cut. Basically, there is an input signal that you can tie into this thing. I normally have it tied back to our fail-safe wideband. That way, if we go lean, it cuts timing. I've got that disabled right now. I may hook that back in tomorrow. We're just gonna have to wait and see. But these two are our main ones for our launch control. We've got 1,000 and 100. And if I lean in here right now, we are at 2. So we're going to bump this one up to 3, and we're about 3,200 on the 100 RPM. So we're going to leave it around 3,200 right now, and we'll test it out at that RPM. So when we're at the track, we got a couple different things that we can do. We'll go ahead and power up here. Let me shut the door so we don't have to listen to the chime. But we've got our toggle switches here. We can turn off our traction control, which we'll be doing that, so we don't have to fight the factory traction control. This completely disables traction control in DTS, unlike the traction control button over here that just turns it off, DTS, StabiliTrack. This one will turn off StabiliTrack until you reach a certain speed, then it'll turn it back on automatically. This one bypasses all that by faulting a wheel speed sensor. I've got a video talking about doing that. Then this one will turn on our two-step. Whenever we have two buttons on our steering wheel, a red and a green. The red one is what enables this stuff. And so if this button is held down, our two-step is active. Whenever we let go, our two-step is no longer active. And then the green button on the left is going to be our bump box. So we'll hold this one down whenever we're ready to launch and then bump in and then bring it up to RPMs, release the red button, and take off like a bat out of hell. Now we've got two other things on here. We've got Nitrous Express. This is automatically triggered whenever we release this button, and then it has the Maximizer 5 on there to say that we need to be above certain RPMs, throttle, etc. We're not going to be messing with that probably. We do have the bottle loaded up. We do have like a 50 shot in there. We're just going to try and make some consistent passes for the first time, since this is going to be the first time we're out on this. Also, we have the line lock option if we want to use it for the burnout. In that case, we would turn the two-step off, leave the line lock on, and then the same button engages the line lock. So we'll go ahead and disable that. And then last but not least, we have the trans brake. Whenever this is flipped on, you can see our smooth stage kicks on, and then our trans brake is hooked to the same button, as I said, and we can adjust the speed and rate in which it pulses the bump box. So let's go ahead, let's fire this thing up, and let's test the two-step and the bump box and see if this thing holds RPM and then allows us to inch forward. Okay, we're in the car. We're going to go ahead and throw ourselves into gear here. We're going to hold the red button, which we should be able to let off the brake now, and the trans brake is holding us in place. So we're going to start giving it RPMs. It looks like everything's working. Okay, it looks like everything's working. The bump might be a little bit aggressive right now, but as you can see, we were holding a good RPM at 3,200 and it was moving forward. We can adjust that as need be. So I'm anxious to get this thing out there, line it up, let this launch control do its thing and see how this truck gets down. We're going to probably be doing a couple 1/8 mile passes. I'm going to be paying close attention to what our fuel trims are up in the wide open throttle area, because it's been really hard to go out onto the street and actually get that data because we have so much power on tap with this setup. So we're ready to go. All I got to do now is throw the drag radials on the back, load her up on the trailer, and then we're going to be hauling her out to the track. So make sure and keep your eyes peeled. There's going to be some videos of this thing going down the track, putting up some good times, hopefully very, very soon. But for now, I got to get back to getting ready. Thanks for stopping by the garage, and remember, ABT, always be tuning.